Well, first of all, a couple of things.
You gonna tell me I'm right?
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
No surprise there. Here's the thing that kills me. They haven't played one regular season game together yet. They haven't thrown a pass. Garrett Wilson hasn't caught a pass from Aaron Rodgers yet in the regular season. Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown a pass to him in the regular season. I mean, my Lord, can they play a game together? Can they play a couple of games together, please? I mean, that's number one. Number two, my answer would be Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill. Now, let me explain something here. We all know that injuries are a part of it. On a very serious note, all joking aside, I'm very worried about Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
He should not have played last year in that game against Cincinnati where he was ultimately carted off because he was concussed against Buffalo. He was on the field prematurely in a Thursday night game to follow that Sunday game against Buffalo and Miami when he showed up in Cincinnati and nearly got damn near killed, for crying out loud. And he was concussed near the end of the season, and they didn't even find out about that concussion until a Monday. The Sunday, they let him play the game, and then it was until Monday they found out. So as far as I'm concerned, he had 3 concussions last year. I'm very, very worried about him and his future health-wise. But strictly, relying upon what we saw when he was on the field, in terms of deep throws, only Geno Smith was better. Or he had a 122.1 passer rating on deep throws. We got to take that into consideration. I'm looking at Tua on these deep throws, 27 of 50, 54% of his passes completed, 10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions on deep throws, a 122.1 passer rating. Tyreek Hill, this brother runs about 23 miles an hour. The brother is he's cat quick. He's the cheetah. We all know this. 88 catches, tied for 8th, 1,299 yards, 4th, 7 touchdown catches, all right, tied for 11th. When we look at what Tyreek Hill brings to the table and how electrifying he could be and how his presence alone scares defenses and forces you to spread the field, these are things that Garrett Wilson has to prove. And you have to also remember this. The Jets, because it was Zach Wilson, you had people sitting up there as great as Garrett Wilson is, and I believe he's great, and I believe he's going to be great. The fact of the matter is that their defense was why they were relevant. Offensively, they were trash. We know what the Jets were because of their quarterback. We expect that to change. I wouldn't be surprised for that greatness to really, really display and show itself. But we've already seen it from Tua and Tyreek Hill. We saw Tyreek Hill prognosticate about what we were going to see once he departed from Kansas City and arrived in Miami. And then we saw Tua and him back it up when they were on the field for the 13 games that they played with one another. So I take that into consideration. And I'm saying, wait a minute now. If this brother is on the field doing what he does, I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers and what he's capable of. I'm looking at everybody and their mother knowing that Garrett Wilson is going to be his primary target. I'm looking at their ability to key on Garrett Wilson now in a way they didn't pay attention to before because Zach Wilson was throwing the football. You didn't have much to worry about because even with no pass rush, you were scared of what he was going to do wrong because that's how weak and unproductive he was. That is not going to be the case with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what happens when you're in that spotlight and you're keyed on. I'm talking about Garrett Wilson. I believe in him, but not like I believe in Tyreek Hill.
Well, it's interesting because one of the things you said was if